Hi guys. Today we're talking about the economic powers when they become political power. So the concentration of economics into a few corporates. So I what I see is that every successful business should be rewarded for creating value. That's fine. This is how the economics works. But what happens when economic success becomes so large that it begins to influence the rules under which everyone else is competing? So it's not creating monopoly, but it's creating a serious influential economy. This is one of the most difficult questions facing the modern economics. And now we are talking about that. So the large corporations bring enormous benefits. They create jobs, invest in technology, they develop new products and build infrastructure that governments alone could rarely provide. This problem is not corporate size itself, that the company becomes too big. It's not only that. The problem begins when economic power becomes political power. So the companies naturally seek policies that protect their interests. Governments also need businesses for employment, investment, tax revenue, and economic growth purposes. This creates an unavoidable relationship between politics and corporate power that become a big collaboration that is needed but that is harming itself, and the relationship become unhealthy. So when powerful economic interests gain disproportionate influence over regulation, taxation, or even government policies, the market can gradually stop functioning as genuinely competitive market. The regulations may unintentionally protect established players. The smaller businesses may face barriers that large corporations can easily absorb. Tax structures may favor those with the resources to navigate them. And political access itself can become an economic advantage. This creates a very dangerous cycle. Let me summarize this in one sentence: that economic power creates influence. At the same time, influence protects economic power. They go side by side. And protecting economic power creates even greater influence. You see the cycle? Once the economic power is creating value, is creating that values become so large that it creates influence. But when the influence influence protects economic power. So they are protecting each other. Economic power creating influence, influence creating or protecting economic power. And then this protected economic power creates even larger, greater influence. Eventually, the capitalism can begin moving away from competition. The very mechanism that makes it productive, that's supposed to be productive, but this influential is keeping the competitions gradually diluting. The solution is not hostile towards corporations. So hostility will not work. Nor is it simply more government regulation. That also not work. because excessive regulations can itself strengthen the large corporation because smaller competitors cannot afford the cost of compliance. So that's not the solution. That actually supporting them. The deeper challenge is institutional design. That's what I think. A healthy economic system must simultaneously protect the enterprise, the competition, the innovation, and the political independence. The government should establish the rules of the market without becoming instrument of powerful market participants. Businesses should be free to become successful, but success should come from serving customers better, innovating faster, and allocating capital more efficiently, not from gaining privileged access to the policymakers. Perhaps one of the fundamental principles of a future economic system should therefore be no participant should become powerful enough to control the rules of the system in which it participates. Let me repeat, because I'm giving an idea to not to make sure that the corporations becoming so influential. So unless we set up the principles of the economy, and those principles ensures that participants cannot become powerful enough to control the rules of the system in which they are operating. This principle applies not only to corporations. This should apply equally to governments, to the financial institutions, and the other concentration of economic power, no matter what form, what type, which area they operate, as long as they are within one system, one geographical area, or one segment. They should not become so powerful that they control the rules itself. So that's the thought, and as we go forward, I will continue developing my work on a new economic framework that I increasingly believe that the central challenge is not choosing between governments and market. It is designing the institutions capable of keeping both accountable. So what do you think? Where should we draw the line between legitimate corporate influence and excessive influence over public policy? I'll wait for your feedback. It will help me developing the new economic framework. If you agree, please say. If you don't, give me the alternates. But the fact is that as long as these corporations, these whatever you call it, I call it economic powers, keep on gaining influence, the cycle of influencing, making them even greater corporations, and then greater corporations make greater influence. So we need to break this cycle by ensuring that no participant in one economic system becomes so powerful that it controls the rules of the game itself. Thank you very much. I'll be waiting for your feedback. Till next time. Thank you.